Yeah, in other words, is the sound on because then we get an echo. Okay, so to look at this, well, if I want to do the inverse, don't I just do 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 8? In other words, every point that I've graphed, 0, 0, okay, well, I'm still going to have 0, 0. Still going to have 1, 1. I'm still going to have negative 1, 1, negative 1. But instead of it being 8, 2, it's going to be, instead of it being negative 8, negative 2, it's going to be, good. Yes, help yourself. There or right up there. It's fine with me. You can use those. I put them there to be used. Okay, so now take a look at those two graphs. Do they look like they are symmetrical across the y equals x? Yes. Okay. The one that goes up and down is y equals x cubed. The one that goes sideways is r cubed root. So 3 methods that we can find inverses. We did 2 of them right here. What were they? Be more specific.
You like take the numbers on the x and y and like flip them.
So you're talking about the table?
Yeah.
Okay, swap x and y in table. Okay, what else? Okay, reflect over parent line, and I'm going to add there which is y equals x, swap x and y, because we swapped those points, right? Okay, one more way that we haven't done yet that we have to do, the one you like the least. Yeah, swap an equation. So we could take a table, we can swap them. We could always plug something into our calculator, get the calculator with Control T. We can take a graph, any pretty points, we can swap those. And then we got the way we like the least. So for the following, it says create a table of values for the following equations. Then compare and contrast their graphs. So how about instead of creating it, well, no, you're going to practice to create the table. Please keep in mind, you could plug this into your calculator and get the table. But let's go ahead and create it. If I plug in 0 for x, what do I get? Okay. What if I plug in 1 for x? No, look at the question. 2. Notice that 2 is on the outside, so it's multiplying my y values. What if I plugged in 2? No, 8. Very good. And I could go on to say 27, and I would get
6. Or wait, sorry, no.
Oh, yeah, 6. Yeah, 6. I had 9 going on in my brain for some reason. I have no idea. Bad math. Are we okay with that? Okay. Now let's look at the other one. Does the other one look like it's the inverse?
Yeah.
Let's test it out. Here we go. If I plug in 0, what do I get? Okay, now remember we would swap these. So now I'm going to talk about plugging in 2. If I plugged in 2, what do I get? But it's 2 cubed.
So 8.
So 8 times half? Okay. If I plugged in 4?
8.
4 cubed is 64. Look at you go. Half of that would be 32. Do they look like inverses?
No.
They don't. But when glancing at them, they kind of do. So let's do it the other way. Let's see. What if we were to swap them? X equals 2 cube root y. Let's see what the inverse of this is. What would I do first? Divide what?
No, wait, you like take it out of
Swap
the
X
square
and
root.
Y.
I already swapped x and y.
Oh.
Take it out of the square root. Square it out.
There is no square root.
No.
I got a 2 cube root y. How about if I multiply both sides by a half so I get the half over there by the x?
Yeah.
Because you want to get the cube root all by itself before you cube it. So we're going to say 1/2 x equals the cube root of y. So before we cube anything, how about we get the cube root by itself? Now this is where somebody's going to make a mistake. And they might get that answer up there. So now what will we do? I want the cube root to go away. What's the opposite of cube rooting it?
Cube it again.
So I'm going to cube this side, but then I got to cube this side too. So I get y inverse. But what about that 1/2? Is it actually 1/2?
No.
It's 1/8. So do you see how easy it would be to get 1/2 x cubed? How could you make sure you had it right if you used your calculator? Couldn't you graph both of them and see if they look like they, or look at both their tables? So both good ideas. Okay, so here we're going to do a little graphing of a transformation for a cubic. Wait, nope, you got a second page over there, don't you? There we go, that's where I want to go. Okay, so now we're going to do this by way of composition. So remember, if we're going to get credit for this, we have to do f of g of x So I'm going to take f, and it's going to go on the outside. So I'm going to do 1/3 parentheses minus 7 cubed plus 4. This huge space I've left is where the x is. And that's where g of x goes. So I'm going to do the cube root of 3x minus 12 plus 7. And this is where we have to be careful to do just one step at a time and make sure that what we're doing is correct. We cannot cancel out our cube and cube roots until they're the only ones left. So where do we want to start? Perfect. That's really the only thing you want to do at this point. So I got 1/3. I got the cube root of 3x minus 12 cubed plus 4. And all I did was do the 7 minus 7. So now what? Are my cube root and cube alone? What do you mean they're not alone? Don't I have the cube root of something being cubed?
Oh, yeah.
So then they're alone. You notice how the 7s are gone? When the 7s were there, they weren't alone. But now I got a cube root of something. It's all inside and it's being cubed, so I can make those go away at this point. That leaves me with 1/3 3x minus 12 plus 4. Now what does the math tell you to do? Distribute the 1/3. So we get x minus 4 plus 4, which equals x. So it looks like they are inverses. But we have to do it the other way as well. So we got to do g of f of x. So this time I'm going to do the cube root of 3 parentheses minus 12. Make sure your minus 12 is underneath your radical. And plus 7. So that's all of g. Then I need to put f inside of it. So I'm going to do 1/3 x minus 7 cubed plus 4. Notice my cube and cube root are not alone. I've got 3s, thirds, a 4, a negative 12. Lots of things to get rid of. So thoughts, what should we do first? Will the 4 and 12 cancel out? Yeah, but if you look at my parentheses, you see how that 3 is multiplying? Okay, so you want to do the 3. So if I multiply the 3, let's see what happens. I get the cube root. 3 times a third would leave me with x minus 7 cubed. What's 3 times 4? Plus 12 minus 12 plus 7. So now you can see how the 12s they're the same, and they'll cancel. So we got the cube root of x minus 7 cubed plus 7. So we got rid of our 3s, thirds, 4s, and 12s. Now we've got our cube root and cube by themselves. So well, it's actually x minus 7 times x minus 7 times x minus 7. So my question is, you're asking for the cube root and the cube. Don't those two cancel? Okay. So we got x minus 7 plus 7. Is that what you meant? Okay. And then we're just left with x. So are they inverses? Yes. We okay with that idea? Okay. The next part, we're going to actually find the inverses, okay? So the two above. Now, if you don't come out with x's for the previous one, then maybe they're not inverses. Just double check your work. If you come out on one and you get to an x, and you come out on the other one and you don't, I guarantee you there's a math problem. One of those is right and one of those is wrong, or both are wrong. Okay, so make sure you double check. So on this next one, we're just going to do our swapping, right? They want us to find the inverse. To find inverses, all we do is swap the x and y. So I got 1/2 cube root y plus 5. So until I get my cube root by itself, I don't want to cube it. So what do we want to do first? Yeah, let's get this. It's not part of the cube root, so let's get rid of it. If I'm multiplying by half, then I can turn it into 1 by multiplying by 2, because 2 times a half is 1. That one step, and we've got our cube root by itself. So now I can take this side and cube it, and I can take this side and cube it. On the right, my cube root and cubic cancel out. What happens on the left? Cubed. Last step. So I get 8x cubed minus 5. Make sure you put y inverse. If you do not, you're going to lose a point, because that's what y equals. Y doesn't equal 8x cubed minus 5. If you wondered whether or not you did it right, you could plug it in your calculator. Correct? Okay. When you do a cube root and a cubic, they're... Never mind, I don't want to answer that question. I don't want to ask that question. I changed my mind. Okay, here we go. Next one. So let's do x equals 6. So this time we're going from a cubic, and we're going to turn it into a cube root. You're so hungry, huh?
What? Isn't that?
I'm watching these two cheat over here and be not very sneaky about it. What's this piece of paper that's floating around? It looks like a homework page.
Homework writing cube roots.
Uh, mm.
Anyways, game.
No, but isn't the x up inside supposed to be y?
Huh?
I'd go to class with you.
Oh, yes. I do that all the time. Thank you. Sometimes I get all the way to the end before I figure it out. Okay, what are we going to do first? Focus. My goal is to get the cube by itself. Add the 3. I'm not going to divide by 6. Logan, you're done. I'm going to multiply by
Oh, yeah.
by 1/6. Now we've got our cube by itself on the right side. So what can we do? That is, did I say cube root? I got my cubic by itself on the right side. So we can cube root both sides. So when I cube root this left side, can I do anything with that 1/6? Totally not. So I'm just going to leave it. It's going to be a b value. I don't want to distribute it. Just leave it as a b value. On the other side, I got y minus 4. So we end up with y inverse cube root 1/6 x plus 3. And then what? Plus 4. We okay with that?
Yes.